I'm afraid a lot of politicians in the UK don't quite know what their job is. Their job is not to be seen where their voters are. Their job is not to follow what the voters are doing. Their job is not to second guess what the voters are doing. Their job is to give a lead and to do their job. So the First Minister in Scotland, his job is to give a lead and to do his job. His job, for example, at the coronation is to attend the coronation. Whether he has Republican leanings or not, he is the First Minister of the King. It's not his job to hurry back to an independence rally. That may well be what voters want to do, and it may well be what he wants to do, but he's got a job first. Keir Starmer's job and Douglas Ross's job is to set out what they offer to voters at an election. Not to put out a Twitter hate campaign, as in the case of Keir Starmer, or to put out suggestions that people vote tactically, as in the case of Douglas Ross. What a nonsensical thing to do. All this strategic voting, that's not the job of Douglas Ross. That's the job, maybe, of the voters in their own backyards to think, oh, I'm going to vote tactically. Fine. We wouldn't stop anybody voting tactically, but it's not the job of the party leader to call for tactical voting. It's the job of the party leader to set out what their future should be. In the same way, a call for independence, like a call for Brexit, we should see what that means. And one of the failures of our politicians in certainly the last 10 years has been a failure to set out not only their goals, but also the implication of those goals, what those goals would mean in practice, to think through what they're saying. So we don't just need the slogans, we need the work. We need them actually to do some work before they present themselves for our vote. We need them to be vocal rather than mute. I mean, it was ridiculous for Douglas Ross to be mute after Liz Truss mocked Nicola Sturgeon, saying that Nicola Sturgeon was seeking attention. Well, of course she's seeking attention. She's the First Minister. She demands attention. That's what the First Minister, that's what the Prime Minister gets. All these cheap jibes, that's not the job of a senior politician. The job of the senior politician is to set out an agenda, an agendum, really, an agendum, to set out an agendum that is clear, that is well thought, that is considered, that has got some sound backing to it, so that we can see where we would go if we followed them, if we voted for them. We're not asking our politicians to tell us who not to vote for. We're not asking for a negative, we're asking for a positive. We've got to live with these people after all. So those who are producing a negative campaign really ought to put their heads in the sand and get off the stage, frankly. They're not worth it.